Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I want to tell you a story. A story about a man so brave, so faithful, so stubborn, that even the Nazis said, now hold on, this guy is different. And trust me, I've met some stubborn people, and I've fished with them also. Now, I know you're all thinking, how in the world are you going to make Auschwitz funny? And I'm not. I'm going to try to make everything else funny. Because St. Maximilian Kolbe, he lived a life. A life with more twists and turns than a bird's nest in a bait caster. Little Maximilian wasn't your average kid. While other children were out throwing rocks, chasing chickens, Maximilian was having visions, real visions. One night, the Virgin Mary showed up holding 2 crowns, one white and one red. Now, if I saw that as a kid, I'd say, ma'am, I don't even know if I can tie a fishing knot yet. I'm still out here using the kind of knot that comes undone the moment a bluegill looks funny at it. But Maximilian, he looks at Mary like he's ordering combo meals at a heavenly bait shop. I'll take both. So he grows up and he becomes a Franciscan priest. And let me tell you, this man was busy. He starts a monastery, then a magazine, then a radio station, then another monastery. Then he goes out to Japan and builds another monastery. And at this point, even the angels were like, brother, slow down. You're making the rest of us look lazy. He didn't just build monasteries. He built them in the strangest places. Japan said, don't build here. Typhoons will eat this building alive. St. Maximilian said, watch me. Now that's the same energy as a fisherman who says, I know the weather app says 40-mile-per-hour winds, but the bass are biting. And wouldn't you know it, the monastery survived the atomic bomb. That's not luck. That's Catholic plot armor. The kind of protection you wish your fishing rods had when your buddy slams the truck tailgate shut. Kolbe didn't just preach. He printed. He printed magazines like he was trying to beat the world record for most Catholic paper cuts. His magazine reached over 1 million people. 1 million. And that's more subscribers than half of the YouTubers who think they're famous. And definitely more than the fishing channels where a guy spends 12 minutes explaining how to tie a knot, and he still messes up on camera. And he ran a monastery with 700 friars. 700. That's not a monastery. That's a holy bass pro shop. Then the war came. Nazis invaded Poland. And Maximilian Kolbe says, I'm not leaving. He shelters refugees. He feeds the hungry. He hides Jews in the monastery. Basically, he turns his monastery into the world's holiest Airbnb, 5 stars. Host was very kind, breakfast was excellent, would hide here again. But the Nazis didn't like that, so they arrested him. Now most people would panic, but Maximilian Kolbe walked into Auschwitz like he was checking into a hotel. Ah, yes, I'll take the room with the suffering, preferably near the courtyard. Good lighting for prayer. That's the same calm energy as a fisherman who hooks a giant catfish and says, well, yes, I'm gonna need a bigger net. Then comes the moment that made him a saint. A prisoner escapes. The Nazis pick 10 men to starve to death. One man cried out, "My wife, my children!" And Kolbe steps forward. I am a Catholic priest. I wish to die for that man. Imagine being one of the guards. You're expecting fear, begging, crying. Instead, you get, "Put me in, coach." That's the same kind of confidence as a fisherman who says, I can cast under that branch, and actually does. In the starvation bunker, Kolbe leads prayers. He sings hymns, comforts everyone. He turned a death chamber into a chapel. Meanwhile, if I were starving for 2 weeks, I wouldn't be singing hymns. I'd be singing whatever song had the word sandwich in it. Years later, St. John Paul II canonizes him. And the man Kolbe saved, he was standing right there. That's powerful. That's the kind of moment where even the toughest guy in the room cries like he just lost a trophy bass right at the boat ramp. So what do we learn from St. Maximilian Kolbe? That courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, sometimes it prays, sometimes it steps forward and says, I will go. And sometimes, just sometimes, it prints 1 million magazines. It builds a monastery on the wrong side of the mountain and survives a nuclear blast. And still has the kind of calm you only see in a fisherman who knows exactly where the bass are hiding. Ladies and gentlemen, that's St. Maximilian Kolbe. And that is one remarkable story.